I feel like you give me too much credit. I'm washed.
Dizzy can take a stock with global warming. That works.
He's our champion against climate change.
Okay, maybe I won't be pressed because my manager just messaged me and said haven't found a scrim yet. So we'll see.
Nice.
Okay.
You get nothing.
I knew I like it.
All right. Let's get started. I'm gonna be bad at DMing because this is the first time in like over a year, but we'll see how this goes. So we're gonna start with a caravan heading towards Giant's Rest. The caravan sort of winding along the road. It's the early morning, and you guys can sort of like hear some birds chirping. You see the big gate in the distance. There's sort of like large tusks and fangs built into the gate made out of dragon bone.
Yeah.
And as you guys, or as the caravan gets to the gate slowly winches up, and you see people start to unpack, start to get out their things, set up shop. And two of those people are a duo of Lapine that disembark from their little wagon and start on their journey. Dizzy, can you describe your character for me?
Yeah. My character is sort of like a creamy white rabbit person. He's got like cherry red splotches all over him. He's got like a really cool hat. It's got like a big blue feather in it. Super cool hat. He's wearing like really fancy clothes, like blousy clothes, but there's a breastplate underneath it that pokes through. And he's got like a half mask covering his face. It's like mostly white and red with like gold highlights. And he's carrying an assortment of instruments. Very prominently, there's like a lute on his back, and you can tell there's like a lyre poking from his knapsack. And he's got he's it's weird because it's almost as large as him. He's got a battle axe strapped to his back, going the opposite direction of the lute. And
Very large battle axe.
Yeah, he starts clearing his wagon of some merchandise and helping it putting it on the rest of the caravan's wagons, and then he leads his mule and cart away from those wagons and hitches it somewhere, and
Yeah.
and looks to Elderberry.
So, next to Arlo, musical, will you describe your character?
About as short of a lapine as you'll see as an adult. Let's see if I go sheet. Yeah, she is like 98 pounds 68 pounds soaking wet.
Okay.
The fur is kind of it could be a dirty blonde or it could be light brown, kind of hard to tell, depends on the lighting. She's dressed in cleric vestments for the Titan of Civilization, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, I haven't forgotten a class feature yet. Lore, yes. Class features, no.
I'm proud.
Keep that bingo card to yourself. And she's mostly just kind of wandering around, keep trying to help where she can, make sure no one's injured or anything like that sort of thing. Isn't talking much.
You two have disembarked and arrived at Giant's Rest, and that means your guys' duties are fulfilled. So you guys are now off of your contract with the caravan, and you're free to explore.
Yeah, the caravaneer hands me a rolled parchment, and I stow that in my backpack, and then
Okay.
I dip. I dip. Oh, also I got a little like pin. Well, it's actually a pretty big pin. It's a wine bottle with music notes crossing over it.
Alright.
Yeah. And it's the same. It's the same as like the banners and stuff on the caravan.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Where are you two heading?
My character just looks to Dizzy to see where he wants to go.
Well, I should be. I mean, I don't have much to do. I want to see the sights. I want to look around the city. I do have to take my letter to the Vinters Guild here.
Mhm.
But other than that, like I don't really have my heart set on a specific thing. We can do just about anything. Like if you want to check out the temple or like check some shops out, get a drink, like we're good.
Okay.
Okay, well I'm gonna wander off. I'm like, well, let me hand in my letter and then we can do whatever after that.
Okay.
And
So you're
I set
headed
off
towards
towards.
Vinters Guild?
Yeah, there's like a brewers and vintners guild. Yeah.
Alright. As you guys head there, you walk into the town square where your like members of the caravan are sort of setting up shop. In the middle of the square, there's a large stone hand, just sort of open palmed with water running down it. And you guys can make your way out of the more open square into the narrower alleys. As you are making your way towards the Vinters Guild, Ahmet, you have been told that your shipment's arriving this morning, and you're making your way towards the marketplace.
Indeed, I am.
What you're looking for, if you recall, is a lapine. You weren't given much info.
Lapine.
But as you make your way towards the market, you see the caravans for the day have already arrived. They're already setting up shop. And it looks like, of the lapine there, 2 are sort of wandering off into an alleyway.
I will attempt to run and catch up with them.
All right. Arlo and Lana, you hear the pitter patter of footsteps and turn around. Describe your character.
You see a very tall, 6'8" blood elf. A deep tan skin. He has long black hair pulled into just one giant braid going down to about mid-back. He has what looks like clockwork themed glasses sitting on his face with multiple lenses of magnifying lenses on the right lens. And you see on the bottom, I'm going to say right corner of his chin and neck, you see a large burn scar go and fade down beneath his collar. He is wearing a leather looking vest, bronze colored with red clockwork patterns going through it, over what would have been very fine silk robes approximately 2 explosions ago.
Okay.
And he walks up to you two and says, excuse me, I was instructed to look for a lapine in this town center. I have parts that are shipped here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's us. That's probably us. I didn't see any other lapine, so we're probably the ones. You have parts?
Yes, I have parts to a little project of mine, machinery parts.
Oh, okay. Well, we were going this way, but we can head back the way we came. That's definitely where your parts are. I don't have your parts, but I'm sure we can help you find your parts. And then I tuck the letter back away and I start moving back in the direction I came from.
Okay. All right. Are you guys heading back to the caravans?
Yeah.
Apparently.
I'm
Alright.
lapine.
You guys walk back to the caravans. You see some people are sort of disembarking, looking around the town. There are a few other lapines. Notably, there's one sort of standing in the middle of the town center, a little lost, holding a box. Vanessa, will you describe your character, please?
I am the other lapine. So like a pretty small one. Just completely white. I have one ear sort of poking up. The other one is poking up, but hooked a little bit. So it's at like a 90-degree angle. I think at least on the outside doesn't look like there's much on me. Just wearing some trousers and something super light, but very lost. The box I'm holding right now is really heavy and I'm kind of tiny. So it's kind of jiggling around. I'm like moving around trying to figure out where to go. And yeah, so it was a little lost lapine right now.
I wave at that lapine.
I try to
Alright.
wave back. But
Yeah, and like I tug on the like pants of the gigantic elf beside me. I'm like, does that look like maybe how many parts you need?
I suppose we'll find out.
That's it. Go get the parts.
I will run up to the other Lapine looking lost.
All right.
Oh,
Excuse me, is that box a delivery meant for someone?
yes, actually, that's crazy of you to mention. I had a friend who was delivering just these parts to like an elf, and he was like, "Yeah, just the elves and giants rest. You're gonna go there anyway." So he just kind of threw this box onto me, and now I'm here. I'm kind of lost. I'll be honest. I'm not really sure what's going on. I don't know what these parts are for. I don't know what I got myself into. But yeah, who are you? What? How did you know about my parts?
My name is Amet, and lucky for you, I can solve one of those problems because I do believe those parts are meant for me.
Interesting. Well, let's see. My friend said he's tall and I I hope my vocab worked out. But you seem to match both of those adjectives. So you know what?
I'm like furiously nodding in the background.
I'm scratching
So
my
you
head.
you know what? Here you go. Here are the parts. You
Uh,
met both of the criteria.
Uh, thank you. Is there like a delivery fee? Was there a shipping cost?
It's paid for.
Oh, okay. It's paid for.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Just
I also
verifying.
don't have the answer to that one. Yeah, cool. Well, that's a load off of my hands.
Well, thank you for being the middleman in this delivery, and I will hand you 2 gold pieces.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to carry you a box of random parts.
Okay. Is making business.
Yes, sir.
All right, you have your parts now, Emma. You'll notice when you pick up the box, you hear it sort of clang around a bit more than you expected it to. It probably got loose on the road,
Uh-oh.
but there are parts in there.
Okay. I will set down what I forgot to describe was a large bronze tube with seemingly clockwork legs beneath it, and I will open the box to see how destroyed the parts may or may not be.
I'm really
Sort of-
interested in the tube and parts.
The tube or the parts? Which one
Both
are you
of
looking at? Okay.
I want to see what happens here.
Okay. Ahmet, you sort of open. Fair enough.
He is kind of explodey looking.
You do see
Yeah.
the singe marks on his clothes.
Mhm.
As well as a large burn scar.
I asked you if this might explode.
Will
No?
it explode, Ahmet?
Well,
Not yet, not yet.
oh,
Not
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I
then
start-
I'm good. Front
Yeah.
row seat.
Well, I mean,
Oh, no.
depending on how I want to go from here, it could be meant to explode. Preferably not in our direction. But things do happen, and I'll gesture to my neck.
Another couple
large
steps
burn scar.
taken back by the cleric.
And
Yeah.
how jumbled up are all the parts looking inside?
Yeah, you open the box surrounded by a cabal of rabbits. And
Very strange, yes.
open this metal box, and you see it's mostly what remains of a trigger mechanism for your hand cannon. And you see it's mostly all the pieces are there. Nothing seems to be missing from a glance,
Mhm.
but some of the like springs and locking mechanisms are a little loose and sort of off kilter.
Okay, so I'll need to put all those together, and then I still need to get a barrel and then wood for a handle, and then Ahmet just trails off, speaking softly to himself.
As watches the much taller elf man just sits there, very focused, furrowed brow, looking in this box and ranting to himself. And this the metal tube with legs is just sort of sitting there. Is it activated, Ahmed?
No, the legs are folded up into two handles on like the
Okay. So
middle,
it's
upper,
like
and lower part of it.
it's just sort of like a suitcase, but metal and a tube.
Metal and a
And it's
Yes.
sitting there next to him, sort of gleaning.
When he starts mumbling to himself, I hop behind Fergor and say, I think it might be a few bunnies short of a burrow.
Fergor's not here.
Did you mean Diz? Alright, well. Yeah, he might be a few bunnies short of a burrow. It is a cool looking tube, though. Is it? It's a tube.
It's a tube.
Yeah.
It looks tube shaped, yeah.
it has a gargoyle like head on the front.
While-
and
while
the
he's,
barrel
like-
opens into that.
It's a tube with a face.
Whoa,
The
the
face,
face.
the gargoyle face.
I'm gonna pull my lute out and start playing like waiting music while he's
Like
looking at
elevator
this.
music.
Yeah, a little-
Alright.
some like low key elevator.
You guys hear music start to play softly while you watch Ahmet completely just lost in thought. The people setting up around town, some of them sort of look towards you, Arlo, and they're like, some are confused, some are just happy to have music while they set up shop.
Oh, the minute somebody starts paying
Gives you
attention to me.
attention.
Yeah. No, can I roll a performance check?
Yep, roll performance.
Yeah, this song's gonna pick up pace big time. It's 13.
Alright. It's not your best work, but it is solid. And you sit there in the town square, sort of just jamming out with your lute. Lana and the other members of the caravan that have traveled with you before don't seem too surprised, but some of the people in town are enraptured. And they sort of, like, they're slowly starting to coalesce and pool around you. They're like, wow,
Let's go.
that bunny can play music. Wow.
Yeah, no, this just feeds my ego.
You see a small child sort of wanders up and goes, "You can play songs, bunny man?"
I say, haha, but of course, tiny human person.
I
What are the
start,
humans called?
I start holding in laughter.
But you don't think I
Wow.
play songs? I don't play songs. I like to see you play a song. I hand her my lyre. My lyre. I don't know how to
Music
pronounce
You
it.
okay?
You hand
She's
Lana
not
your
laughing at
lyre.
you, she's laughing at the human.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was a challenge. We retcon that. I don't do that.
Cousin, how long have you known her? Come on, man.
Is there a specific song that he'd like to
The
hear?
he's just happy to hear it. He will
Oh.
walk up to Vanessa. What's your character's name?
It's a good question. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Is it
You
the
say,
Machi
like,
one?
The
Oh,
Machi
okay.
one, yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna say Machi,
Okay,
and you can correct me later.
I'll go with Machi. I
Okay.
think it's a fine name for a buddy.
The kid will walk up to Machi and sort of like pull on your sleeve and go, "Do you play music too?"
I will look off. I'm looking off wistfully, and I'm like, I wish I could, but
It's like,
I have yet to
oh.
find an instrument that can accompany my tiny lapine structure.
I have
Wow.
several. I have several lapine-sized instruments.
If you want a tutor,
Would you want? Would you
the art
like
of music.
a violin or a harp?
I'll take a violin. There's
Okay,
something about the strings that just speaks to me, but
I
only
haven't-
violin strings.
Was it
Oh.
Machi?
Well, this one is just,
I had Machi the dulcimer.
The
I-
dulcimer.
Yeah.
What is
I
this?
don't- I'm also
All
looking
right.
that up because
Time to
I
Google.
thought I knew what that was, and I did.
Oh,
That's
I know
not a
what that is.
violin.
That thing's huge.
Yeah,
They're not
it's
huge.
Oh my
massive.
god!
It's like 2-3 feet. It's not huge.
It's
huge.
decently large.
It
It's
is a
larger
large
than a violin.
Yeah, not very.
It's not like a cello. Well,
pretty sure a
Mochi,
viola would
you
be
now
a cello
have-
to a lapine.
This is true. Mochi, you now have an instrument, and the kid's looking at you really excitedly.
I take a deep breath. I look. I embody this instrument, and I look at this child. Lift my arms up
Roll
and
perform.
strum.
Make a performance check.
Can
Alright,
I
this is
give
gonna be
her
great.
advantage? Like, can I, like, when she starts to play, can I start to play with her, so it makes her look better?
I'll let you cancel out the disadvantage because I don't think she knows how to play instruments.
I
Okay.
absolutely do
Yeah.
not. All right.
God,
So
I
you
wanna
can play
see
back
this
up to her to
roll.
try and go along with it.
All right. All right. How do I roll?
Oh, just
So,
click on the word
Go
performance
to your
on
character sheet and you click
Yes.
performance. Yeah.
Okay. Follow-up question.
Yeah.
Where is that?
Upper left-ish on your first tab.
Okay.
You know your stats, like the big stats?
Yes.
To the direct right of those, there's a list of skills, and you'll have one called performance. It's not checked, it's below perception, which is checked though.
Low perception.
Below your saving
They're in
throws.
alphabetical. Yeah. It's like to the exact right of your charisma stat. And then you just click the word performance.
Oh no. I see perception
Yeah,
Below it.
directly beneath that.
directly beneath it. Okay.
It says
I see.
performance, and you click that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it used to be you actually had a button to click, but then they just said, "Oh, we're gonna have you click the word now."
Mm.
Never mind. I think I said okay too soon. I see perception, and then I see the tools, proficiency, and custom skill. I don't believe I'm in the right.
Oh, you're
No,
looking
no.
at passive wisdom. Okay.
Yeah.
Above that, above where it says perception, do you see where it says skills?
Yes.
That box is your list of skills. In there, there's a skill called performance. It's in alphabetical order.
I got it.
And
Okay,
you're
so
going
I
to click
click.
the word performance. Yeah.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Holy
Okay.
shit.
What
Showed
is
up
it?
to
Wait,
barge
wait.
like
Uh,
crazy.
You rolled a 19 out of 20.
I love this.
All right.
All right, you're a
Um,
virtuoso.
You immediately take to this instrument naturally.
hmm
And you start playing very, very well. Dizzy or Arlo, you can sort of take a back step while you play background and just boost this like new performer up and up. And the kid is losing his mind. He's like, "Wow, all bunnies can play. They're all musicians!" And he runs off to go tell his mom about it
Oh my god.
and how he's found out that all bunnies are natural musicians. They're all talented.
Oh,
Yeah.
You see there's more of the sort of civilians around the town center are like paying more attention, going, all right, let's not have bad. There's music now. They're sort of getting along with it. Yeah. You guys
Let's
have
go.
performed quite well.
Are we in a video game cutscene? Some random person wonders, breaking the fourth wall.
Thank you, musical.
Any
got
guy?
something.
I will look up from the box and realize I've just been sitting there completely oblivious for like 5 minutes, and I will pick
Yep.
up everything and move to the outskirts of the audience that has formed.
Silently, you guys watch as the elf walks from the middle of the three rabbits, just off to the side, sits down with his box, and gets back to work. Are you
All right.
picking up the tube as well, or is it just there?
No, I throw it like a very heavy duffel bag over my shoulder.
Yeah. Swings this very large tube. The tube is taller than all the rabbits, I'm pretty sure. That's a
Hmm.
big tube.
It is large.
Yeah, you walk off to the side. Lana, you are now stuck in the middle of two rabbits that are both playing instruments and having a grand old time.
I like shiftily glance at my backpack with the harp sticking out of it in case you want to join in.
She gives you the look of, "Are you out of your mind?"
Yeah. All Lapine can play music.
No,
It's
no,
true.
you can't.
It's been proven.
It's true.
do it.
Do
I
it.
start to nudge you a little bit with my lapine feet, just going, "Come on, it's gonna
Flip.
be a trio." It can be a
Mm.
trio.
Watch me fail this roll. Yep.
Oh, you got a 10. That's not horrible.
Hell yeah.
That's not detrimental. You guys watch as Mochi and Arlo are sort of just playing along, getting along quite swell. And sneakily Lana, like really like head down, grabs the harp out of the thing and goes, okay. Starts strumming the harp. It's nothing incredible, and it is a little bit like church music, and doesn't fully jam with what you guys are doing, but it's decent. You're sort of strumming the harp and getting along. And now there is more of like a proper crowd forming as they sort of get together. You see the kid, you see through the crowd, the kid dragging an adult towards you guys by the hand. And
Can I flop my hat off and put it on the ground?
sure.
Like halfway
Like
through the
upside
song?
down for cash?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, okay, sure. You sort of like very deftly, while somebody else is picking up notes, you sort of drop the hat on the ground. A very large bow, and people sort of glance at you a bit, but a few people are tossing coins in there.
Let's
And then
go.
the kid walks forward, and you hear him saying like, and then the bunny people, and they played the big string, and then he breaks through and he sees that Lana's also playing an instrument now, and he goes, see, they can all play music. And you see the adult he was dragging is sort of like a young guy, walks over and is like, sorry about him, and just sort of looking at the music being played.
Oh no, don't apologize, I say, strumming away on my lip.
All right.
I
He
have a question.
notices. You have questions on that?
I am going to pull my I believe that's homunculus servant,
Yep.
who is in the form of a clockwork falcon, and I will send it to perch on one of the Lapine's shoulders and just kind of like do like a shuffle dance with him.
Let's fucking go.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure my Lapine will fall over at the extra weight.
I'm wearing a breastplate.
It's
All
mainly
right,
magic.
so-
It's mainly magical. Y'all will be fine.
Yeah.
It's light clockwork.
Okay. You hear some gasps from the crowd as this little, like, glinting metal falcon goes flapping over the crowd, and they're like, "Whoa!" And then it perches and starts doing a little fucking shuffle dance on Arlo's shoulder, just back and forth, waving its little feathers around.
You look over and Amet's just like has his like hands like gently lifted up, like using his fingers to like guide it like a puppet from far away.
Just
Oh,
really
amazing,
quietly from the
amazing.
other side of the crowd.
I give you a thumbs up from the neck of my lute.
Okay. All right. While you guys are playing, Shang and Fergor, you guys, you've been here for a few days. You've been staying in one of the inns in town, sort of getting your guys' shit together. Shang, you're obviously still wandering. And it's morning, you guys have grabbed some food, you're walking through town, and you hear a decent amount of commotion coming from the square, which is new. This city's usually very quiet.
Hmm.
I see.
Wanna go
You
check
over-
what the guy is about?
Might as well.
Alright, let us go. And I just waddle forward.
Okay. As you guys walk out, a goblin sort of waddles into the town square, and behind him, an Oni very stoically walks behind him. Can you two, Fergor, can you describe your character?
So you see a very stout, bad-looking face in a hood and a very plain clothes, with a fairly large spindle on his back and what seems to be a decorative hook on his hip.
All right. Shank, can you describe you?
A blue skin Oni walks up with horns curved in from the side of his head. There seems to be a third eye at the top of his forehead, with smoke just wafting from his mouth. Wearing a large robe, which seems to have some sort of emblem on the side of it, maybe marking a clan or some sort.
All right. You guys enter in to see the sort of triumphant end of 3 bunnies and a small hawk as they do their show. The crowd sort of gives some cheers, some applause, drops more coins into your hat, Dizzy, and
Yeah.
people sort of go back to their morning business, except for the kid who's sitting there vibrating, waiting for you to finish to ask more questions.
I definitely like power slide the last couple notes out in the kid's direction.
Okay. You walk over to, well, I guess you power slide to him. He's gonna look at you wide-eyed and go, "Do I have to be a bunny to do that?"
Oh no, of course not. Anyone can play music. Do you have the heart for music? And I immediately hand him my lute, and I try to impart musical talent
Fire.
to him through gesticulation.
Oh, jeez.
He looks up at the guy that he brought over, and he's like, "Do I have the heart?" Like really softly, and he's like, "I'm sure, buddy. Yeah." He's like, "Okay, yeah, Dizzy, can you make persuasion?"
Persuasion. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. He sort of sits there, and you see he's getting like more and more shy, sort of sitting off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
We just formed a band. And he sort of gives it a really hesitant strum, and he's like that?
Yeah, just like that.
Wow. And then he strums it one more time. He's like, "That's cool. I'm gonna be a bunny." And then he hands you back his instrument, and he looks at Mochi and goes, "I'm gonna find my instrument too." And then he sort of like marches off.
Wait,
Very
before he marches off, I wanna
Yep.
ruffle his hair. I wanna ruffle his hair and I'll pat his
Okay.
head and I'm gonna tell him, hey, little guy, what's your name?
I'm Kevin.
Alright, Kevin. Never stop, never stop.
Okay, I won't stop. And then you see he starts marching and then breaks into a spring. He's like, "I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna be a bunny," and runs off.
Amazing.
And the
Oh no.
What did you tell that child?
I told him to follow his dream.
I believe this isn't any of our
He
business.
filled in the blanks.
This is none of our business. I look at the bat, who I think is far away. I say, I
he's getting
encourage him
closer.
to follow his dreams.
Okay. Where are you folk hail from? Looks like you're one hair short of a burrow, as some of you would say.
I look
Can you define us?
indignant. I look like you just spat on my family.
Jeez,
That's
here we
like,
go.
I'll have you know, I'm
Wholesome.
Arlo Betterberry. Ever heard of the Betterberries?
Did I just win the bet?
No, that's not
Okay.
wholesome.
Okay.
Defending my family's honor.
I've
Don't
traveled
think
this
he meant
land
any harm,
quite a bit,
cousin.
and I don't believe I've heard the Berry family.
You have have I got a treat for you? And I reach like sort of behind me around my backpack area, and I unhook a tiny cask. And like on my backpack, there's some mugs, like ornate mugs, and like a leather binding. And I unhook 2 of those as well, and I start pouring I start pouring 2 mugs of what looks to be just outstanding wine. Like even the look of the wine is like, wow, that's good wine. And I hand it to
It's like the
these
sun
2.
is glistening perfectly off it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. All right. You're handing it to
To
Fel and Kenshin.
those 2.
Alright.
Can I roll to see if I remember anything from my house about better berries?
Yeah, sure. Make a history check.
Okay. Nope. Never heard of you.
Rip.
Oh no.
You have never heard of them, though you are admittedly new to vineyards in the holds. That's not an area of expertise for your clan. But yeah. Alright. You guys
No,
both
you don't-
have one.
You
You
don't
want
get
to
free
drink the
sample kit
wine.
from 5 tools. You get it from backstory.
I
Well,
pick up,
in any case, I usually don't drink, my friend.
Oh, believe me, one sip of this, and you very well might.
Don't force him, cousin.
It's just a spot of wine, cousin.
I'll pick up the wine with my tail and sip from it.
Okay.
I love the visual.
You're just sort of sitting there sipping the wine with your tail. It tastes very good. It doesn't taste quite like what you guys make in the Enclaves. It's definitely unfamiliar compared to what you're used to. But it's good, and you'd consider getting more of it.
Interesting taste. I like it.
That's
Where-
the worst that I had.
I thought you weren't taking a sip.
Well, it looks like they wouldn't take no for an answer.
I wouldn't. That's fair.
Okay.
That's why they.
Well,
said
I'm glad
Lana
you
with
guys
him.
enjoyed. My
On
family's
that,
been making.
your hawk is returned to you, by the way.
I was just about to say I'm gonna have my hawk return and just perch on
It
my
flies over
shoulder.
to you.
Okay,
I'm
and I'll-
visibly sad the second it leaves me.
I'll I'll walk over to the group, put the
Alright.
hawk on my fingers, and I'll lower it down and balance it on Arlo's head.
Okay.
I-
You sort of reach down and balance it. Kenshin, now that you see on that walk forward, and this is the first time you've been able to look directly at somebody this morning. You guys are both not tiny. It's wild.
It's good to see somebody closer to the clouds, as it were, in this town.
Yeah, same.
You missed the performance.
This goblin is. I have to bend my neck down every time to look at him. Hurts my
Oh.
neck.
Oh, believe me, I've known these people, what, about 5-10 minutes? My back's already hurting.
Yeah. I can see that.
I am very sorry.
Well, that's not your fault.
Lana does an excellent massage.
Keep that in mind.
Don't have to tell any stranger.
Oh, sorry. I don't know you.
I will no longer keep it in mind in that case.
I am still being positive. She is smiling.
Lana seems uncomfortable.
So,
And quickly shakes
bring-
it off.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's
what
used
brings
to
you
it.
two to town?
I went on a travel to look for a priest. I rather not talk about it.
I start jumping up and down. I got like
You-
my hand raised and I'm like pointing and stuff.
You can
Yes,
almost
excellent.
picture the quest objective above Arlo.
Yeah.
I pick up the falcon as it flies off of Arlo's head after the first jump.
Oh yeah. Like I know a priest. What kind of priest are you?
Just a priest.
Oh, I have that. Wait, I like pull Lana aside. I'm like, I know I accidentally like leaked about the massage. Like, should I not? Like, he's looking for a priest, and you're a priest, and I feel like. Okay, I spin us back around. I'm like, Shh, priest.
I could hear you.
Oh.
You weren't exactly the quiet one.
Hmm.
Well, you see a small but priestly rabbit standing in front of you.
I have a question for you. I have been cursed with this hex blade. I'd like to know more about the god inhabiting it.
Tell me more about this hexblade.
That.
Or
What
religion.
are you asking about the more about the god, right?
Yeah.
That's religion. Oof.
Ooh.
And I have proficiency.
Ooh.
Lana, you've heard like fairy tales of people being like tormented by gods and weapons and stuff, but that's not real. Like, this guy must be fucking with you, because that doesn't really happen that often.
Are you fucking with?
And that is where I shall go. Thank you for
That
your...
is terrifying.
But
That's quite alright.
Alright.
As she leans over and whispers to Dizzy and Lapine that she's heard fairy tales, but this is the first time she's heard someone in the real, like, standing in front of her claiming to hear it, have this issue.
Oh man. Arlo says back in Lapin, we best start believing in hex blades. we
oh, and I forgot all my manners actually. Now that I think about it, and I started wiping my hand real quick, so like shake off the dust, maybe some dirt. Cinderlord. Cinderella fail.
Goblin reaches his hand out.
I'm gonna grab that hand.
Alright.
I grab it with a firm grasp and I say, Arlo Betterberry.
Firm handshakes all right.
Well,
Alright.
it is nice to meet you, Arlo. Betterberry?
Betterberry, yep. That's the one. Of the New Hampshire Betterberry.
Uh-huh.
It's still country
And-
in New Hampshire.
No, it's not. I forget what
I
It's
know.
not really big on berry.
I'm teasing. My character just curtsies and says, Lana Elderberry.
Very much nice to meet you. And your elven friend and the one behind you?
I will give a deep bow and say, "My name is Ahmet Suldan."
I'll let the ear that isn't bent. I'll bend it forward as a little bow and say my name is Mochi.
Ah, good to know. Well, since my friend over here is a very intimidating looking guy, is going to the temple, I will be going with him. Maybe if we want to talk a little bit more, we'll be able to meet in the tavern. We've
Would
been-
you guys mind if we accompanied you to the temple?
I
I'm
was
super
going to
interested
go
in.
to the temple anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we're gonna go to the temple.
I have nothing else to do. I made my delivery. I was gonna spend the rest of this week kind of just traveling. So you know what? I'm just gonna hop along with you guys.
And we're
what
all
about
actually
you,
hopping. Oh,
Arlo?
yeah.
Exactly.
Who's the
Not
bard?
prepped for the funny jokes. All of them.
Bard.
All of them. We just established all of them with a bard.
Yes.
Everyone's a bard in their heart, okay?
The Lapine race is a collective bard.
Apparently.
Well,
Alright.
I can't let the only person here besides me taller than 4 foot be lonely, so I suppose I'll join y'all.
Alright. Kenshin, are you heading off?
I will be off.
As you walk, you see the sort of like lemmings of height order following you.
I dawdle and pick up my hat.
Inside your hat is about 5 silvers worth, but it's all copper.
Okay. Is that 50 copper?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I turn around and wonder to myself how people could be so short.
You know, in the enclaves, you never really met anybody as tiny as this. It's like they're all very small furred children.
Oh, it's even worse in the Red Tithe.
Well, you guys have goblins.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was about to say we
I
have
want-
So you guys have
we-
small,
Not
just not small and furry. And no, we're not
have the
furries.
we have the stupidly tall people, we have the tall and built people, and then we have the bat folk.
It is worth mentioning, on that, this goblin is
Sorry.
one of the few like direct correspondents that you've met from the Tithe so far on your travels south.
Noted. I will turn to our blue skin friend and say, if you did, I apologize if you did say your name. I didn't hear it, but I think everybody has introduced themselves, but you,
Kenshin.
Kenshin. Okay. Well, nice to meet you.
You too.
As you guys make your way through Giant's Rest, it's still morning, and you see there's people just sort of enjoying the morning. Work is beginning to start. People are beginning to open their shops, but it's a pretty lazy morning. The stone pathways and alleyways, they get fairly narrow as you guys make your way upper and upper into the city. They're all sort of very well paved, and you notice a lot of the structures here, at least those new to the city. Notice much of the city is built out of stone and some wood. There's what looks like bone used in certain places to hang fabrics or to hang banners and signs. And there's, surprisingly, the scent of sort of baked goods as you guys make your way deeper into the city. Just wafting from certain houses. Smell of breakfast. It's comforting. As you guys make your way, you see that the narrow stone alleyway leads up to, it widens a little bit, just a squeeze, and there's a fairly large door, and a symbol on the door is the same symbol hanging around your neck, Lana. It looks like that's the church.
There it is.
Let's go.
All right. You guys crack open the doors, and you see there's a few priests dressed mostly in white and some golds. Just cleaning up the place, like dusting, tending to the general area. But when the doors open, one of them sort of looks up and goes, "Oh, service won't be for another few hours. What do you need?"
Could I ask a question?
Of course.
I seem to have been cursed by some deity that I know nothing about. I'd
Oh,
like to know more about him.
have you been having nightmares?
No, not really.
Oh. He sort of looks down for a second and goes, you should come with me to the back. The rest of you, it's very nice to meet you. And he looks at Lana especially and goes, I wasn't expecting a sister to travel this far. Greetings.
Greetings.
And then he leads Kenshin into the back, and you see the other priests sort of subtly walk forward to introduce themselves while they walk into the back.
Ahmed is staying outside of the church.
What's
Yeah, that's fair.
what's the inside of the church like? Like where they
Um,
went to the back, is there anything like around there?
There's like an altar. There's an altar with a sign on it. There's some books strewn about on shelves, and you see there's wooden benches lined up in front. It's
Would it
small though.
would it be concerning for me to position myself near some books near where they went?
You can try and sneak past. You
Yeah, I
you
want
can
to try
do
to do that.
introductions fast and then slip by you.
Yeah.
What are you trying to accomplish?
I'm just really interested in what's going on with that, and I want to.
Yeah, you want to hear? Okay.
Yeah, I want to
You're
hear
a
it.
rogue.
I'm not doing rogue things. I just want to hear a thing.
Make perception. Make a perception check
What's the perception for? Is that to hear?
to hear.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, so you can get to the bookshelves. They're not. They're priests. They're not going to bar you.
Rip.
You sort of very subtly meander your way to the bookshelves. Take a look at one, put it back. You're sort of sitting, and then you hear the shutting of a door from the hallway they walk down, and there's a sort of like, fuck.
I lift up one of my floppy,
Okay.
and I guess I bound back in frustration.
All right.
I'll go talk to the
what-
priest.
Your perception check will reveal that you see Lana and Mochi and Fel talking to the priests. Ahmet's gone. He was with you while you guys were approaching, but he is missing now.
Oh,
Because roof will cave in.
You guys walk back and start conversing. We're gonna swap to Shang. Okay. Kenshin, you make your way into the back area, and you see the priest sits you down. There's a sort of wooden desk. There's a lot of books in here, and sort of stone room. And it's nice, but it's pretty musty. Smells like old incense. And he looks at you and goes, "Can you tell me more about your condition?"
You see, this sword is now bound to me.
Would you mind if you can you unsheath it?
Yes.
Okay. You sort of unsheath the blade, lay it on the table, and he immediately gets to looking at it, and you hear him muttering something, probably an incantation, while he's sort of looking over it. And glances back and forth. He goes, well, it's certainly nothing I'm used to. The enclaves are still a little new to us here, but we could I could see if there's anything in our libraries.
Yeah, please.
He turns around, he starts thumbing through books. You see there's a lot of novels that are supposed like histories of the Empire or histories of the Holds, histories of Giants Rest, stuff like that. There's a very nice, large, well-kept book about the Titan of Civilization. And it's like thumbing through him, reads through him, and he looks to you and goes, there are records of cursed weapons, but I'm afraid it's a bit out of my purview. If you could find at least, I obviously am but a humble priest, but I would start looking in places of curses of any kind. If you can bring it somewhere magically charged, perhaps that'll activate something. Only a guess,
Interesting
but
proposition.
I apologize I couldn't help you further.
That's quite all right.
Would
Thank
you
you.
like a wafer?
Sure.
He gets out very small white stale wafers and hands a few to you. Thank you, basically. All right. Back to the front. The other priests are like, they're mostly talking to Lana and going like, "Wow, you've traveled all the way from I need more than one voice. We'll get there."
Westvale.
Westvale. Wow, you've traveled all the way from Westvale. I'm drinking water.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Hydrate.
DM must be
Yeah.
hydrated.
You've traveled all the way from Westvale. That's quite a long trip. Why are you over here?
I accompany caravans, many for my family, but clerics of peace tend to be good for accompanying these sorts of things because we can get along with a lot of different people. What are you rolling?
The priest, he hears caravans and he's nodding, and then you hear, or not you hear, you see his like face sort of like come to a realization, and he looks at Arlo, and then he looks back at you. He goes, "Are you with the Betterberries?"
Arlo sort of like turns his head, gives him a big thumbs up grin, and it like prominently displays his badge.
Okay. It's like, wow, we've used your wines for ceremonies quite a lot. They're exquisite. It's an honor. And he gives a deep bow.
I bow back and I'm like, I'm always happy to please. I'm so grateful to hear that you use them in your ceremonies.
Yeah. He turns and looks at Mochi and goes, "Are you with the Betterberries as well?"
I shake my head and I go, honestly, no. I kind of just tagged along. But I'm a bunny. I'm a laugh. That's the only connection. Maybe we're related. You know, I look
We're
pretty hopeful.
most
I'm like,
likely
maybe,
related.
maybe somewhere up the family tree. I'll run a little. I'll run a test when I get back to my parents. But unfortunately, no.
What kind of Lapon are you?
I'm pretty sure you guys are all cherry wine and all
We're
from
all
cherry
Westvale.
wine. Yes.
Let's
cherry
go.
And you're all from Westvale.
wine. Yes. Oh.
By the sounds of things.
Like yeah, like
Wait, I
some
want to
parts of
call it a
Michigan.
family bush now. Oh
Family
no!
bush.
Oh no!
No, there's parts
go
of
with
this
hedge,
state
or
where people
maybe
refer to a
shrub.
family wreath.
Oh.
nah.
Oh.
Both European royal families.
I'm sure we take every measure.
Betterberries would not have such a
I
stain.
know. I know. Just a
their,
mental
A
image.
stain.
prodigy. Alright. The priest is immediately slightly less interested in Mochi and turns back to Arlo and goes, "So, I was hoping we could work something out. I mean, I haven't tasted your wines in quite a long time.
Oh, absolutely, we can do that. What are we talking about quantity wise?
Just a case, we were going to have a celebration this week, and we were hoping you could provide something.
I'm sure we can do that.
I appreciate it," and gives a very deep bow.
Mm-hmm.
And then he turns to Lana and goes, "Thank you for the introduction, sister," and gives a deep bow. Ahmet, you're sort of sitting in the road out front of the place.
I'm just continuing to tinker with the trigger mechanism as my Clockwork Falcon hands me small tools to fix it.
You're like pushing it a little bit, and then there's a twang, and the spring flies out. It's like, oh shit! But you're getting closer.
We're gonna be here a little while.
What's up, Fergal?
I will walk out of the church because I'm realizing that they're all just waiting around and chatting, and I can just wait outside.
All right. Uh,
You see him on all fours looking for a spring on the ground.
How long would it take me to sprint back to where the carts are, and then back to the church?
like to sprint?
Yeah.
Like 6 minutes.
Are we sticking around here for a little bit, guys? I noticed. I don't think Kenshin's come back, right?
Yeah, Kenshin's still in the back as of right now.
Okay, I'll be right back, and I just book it out the door.
All right. Ahmet and Fel, you see Arlo just tear onto the street and start sprinting down.
Watch out! You're gonna step on my falcon.
I'm sorry, I say in the distance.
Did you lose a part?
Yes. I thought I had this mechanism completed, but apparently a spring disagreed with me.
Can I look around to see if I see the spring and help him?
Sure. Make investigation. We'll give you
Oh, yeah.
advantage. Whoever rolls it, it's up to you.
Okay.
All right, Fergor rolled. All right, 15. Yeah, you can find the spring. You guys sort of scrounge around looking on the sort of like grooved wooden road.
I have
And eventually-
all magnifying lenses down on my
Yeah,
glasses.
you're just scanning. And eventually you find on the side of the road, sort of nestled in some grasses that are peeking through this.
Did my Discord die?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I also
You
had
cut
like.
out. Yeah, you
Oh,
cut out.
did
at
I
the tail
die?
end. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good at that.
Word.
Where did I cut off?
Something about grass.
Grass is poking out of, and then you cut.
Oh
out.
yeah, you find a tiny brass spring in the grasses.
Here it is. I found it. Here you
Ooh,
go.
thank you. These parts would take a whole while to replace, so you just saved me a lot of time.
So, what is this contraption you're working on?
I am hoping that this mechanism will help empower the spells I am able to cast.
Oh. So you're a wizard? No, is that
Uh,
right?
Of sorts. I am a spellcaster, but not as powerful as the true wizards back at home. I am an artificer. I
Ah,
use more tech than spells.
like
Uh,
craft nonetheless.
Fel, you would have seen a lot of the cannons and weaponries on the ships that have passed by you while you were in the Tithe. You'll know are attributed to people like him.
Mhm. Yeah.
I will. You go.
What brings you this far from the Tithe?
Originally I'm on a little excursion for my school that I'm coming from. It's usually my job. I'm sent for archaeological digs, find research, seeing how tech has improved everywhere else, and this is just one of my most recent excursions here.
Hmm. Seems that my goal kind of aligns with yours.
Oh,
Have you ever heard of Cindolors?
would I have heard of this in Dolores?
Roll history.
History. I think I'm good at that. Yes. Kind
Uh,
of.
you don't know a ton, but you do know that they're a goblin clan that's mostly about recording and searching for histories.
Ooh. Would you happen to know of Con Elmer Academy?
Roll
Uh,
history. Actually, no, you would know about the academy. Especially a man of your talents, Fergor. The academy is actually, you know what? How you can explain it?
All
What's
right.
the academy?
The academy is a very prestigious, considered the most important and biggest school in Consuri, and they are known for their large archive of general information and also acting in part with the machinery and close to the army as well.
In the Navy.
Ah,
All right.
So we owe a good part of our archive to your family, apparently.
Well, I won't say that much. Your records are yours. We just recorded the story of the people. We had a couple of people from your academy.
Doesn't matter where they're coming from. Stories are stories, and all information's important.
Mm-hmm.
Kensham, you've the priest hands you a book detailing a few. It's seems a bit less professional than some of the other books in his library, but it's like talking about hauntings and curses in the valley and all these like folk stories and stuff. He's like, I don't know if much of this will help, but it's a start. And he hands you the book.
Thank you very much.
And
If you
he
don't
sends
mind.
you off. Oh, go on.
I'd like to come back later and discuss history of this place.
Of course. The our church is always open.
Thank you.
Nods his head. All right. You head back out to see the two bunnies talking to some members of the priesthood. Arlo, you're now currently on your return trip. What were you picking up? You're just picking up wine, right?
Yeah, just
Or
getting
something
one.
else? All right. The return trip is taking a bit longer because you are lugging a box of wine, but
Yeah,
you're making your way back. You do notice that Ahmet and Fel seem to be missing, but you can hear Fel's distinct voice from outside.
I will go outside. And
Alright.
look at what you're doing.
You see the goblin and the elf.
Talking to our elven friend right here.
I see.
Welcome back.
What is it that you're doing here?
Was that directed to me?
Yeah.
Long story short, I'm here for expanded research and whatever else I may be able to find here.
I see. And the cannon?
Little pet project of mine, shall we say?
Looks interesting.
Indeed. And I know that it is capable of very interesting things, shall we say.
I hope I don't get to see those things. While I'm there.
It will.
Looks like you are scarred a bit.
There was a little bit of trial and error involved, but best way to learn is the hard way, in my opinion. Also, the quickest way to learn. So let me tell you, when a fiery explosion detonates in your face, you learn very quickly not to do the thing that caused that explosion. And I will idly scratch at the scar.
And if it happens again?
Hopefully we don't repeat it a third time.
I see.
You guys hear the pitter-patter of rabbit feet coming up the road.
I recommend backing up, unless you want to get flattened from the knees down.
Probably.
like on my way past, I'm like, "Hi, Kenshin. Did you find out anything about your sword?"
Yeah. More than I bargained for, to be honest.
Oh, well, and I just sort of run past him into the church and plunk down the
Yes.
wine and sit on top of it.
Your
Take a
sword has
breather.
something wrong with it.
The priest that was very excited about the better berries walks over and is like, "Wow, is that a full box?
It is that. It is full.
I'll be right back." You see, he walks into the back where the head priest is still sitting, and they leave the door open, and you hear them talking and talking and talking. And then the lead priest walks out, sort of unamused. He walks out and goes, "I see we've decided to pay for a box of your finest."
I turn away slightly and I apply a small bit of makeup to my face. It's like a little, it's just like a little bit of
What?
blush that I brush over my cheek, and I cast friends on myself, targeting the unhappy
Okay.
the unhappy one, and I extend my hand and say, "Yes, I'm Arlo Betterberry." and I now have an advantage on.
What's the save on friends?
I don't think there is one.
I think friends gives you advantage on
No, it gives
charisma
you
checks,
advantage
yes.
on charisma checks. You still have
yeah,
to
it
make
gives me
the
advantage
charisma
on the
check.
charisma. Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly it.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Persuade
Uh,
check then?
Yeah, I say
Yeah.
I'm Marlo Butterberry.
All right, roll persuasion with advantage. You have a minute for this, yeah?
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
He goes, well, it has been quite some time since we've had something of that quality here.
I had heard as much. Luckily, I'm in the area to help.
I appreciate that. How much will it be?
For a full box of my family's finest reserves, that'll be 100 gold pieces.
Shall we pay here, or should I bring this to the caravan that recently arrived?
Oh no, you can pay it to me. I'll be sending it off to them, and I sort of put forth my my badge. I puff my chest out so you can see my badge better.
Okay.
And I say I'm actually first in line for the what's the thing called?
Inheritance.
Yeah. I'm the
Sure.
first son of the Betterberry.
He looks
It's
at you
true,
with an
can't
eyebrow
verify.
raised and goes, I wasn't expecting the esteemed heir of the Betterberry throne to grace our little church.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it
And-
either. I just wanted to come for the ride mostly, but I'm having a lot of fun.
He smiles, and you see him walk towards the back to get payment.
Okay.
He's walking at a fairly slow pace, but he is walking there.
That's okay. We got time. Yeah.
Oh, that's not the time I'm talking about. He walks to the back. You see him get a sort of like burlap sack of silver and gold pieces. Yes, this should cover it. I appreciate your unwarranted visit to our church. He hands you the bag.
Fair enough. Thank you so much, Your Holiness. And I look at him just to, like, glean from his facial expression if that was right or not.
It's like, that's for someone a bit higher than my station, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
Your piety knows no bounds, and I take the money, and I don't even worry about counting it. I just put it in my knapsack.
Okay. You can sort of see the like ring of sparkles around him from the magic, just you.
Okay.
And you can see the sparkles getting less and less.
Yeah, so I was like, well, now that you have your wine and my friend knows about the thing, I guess he came here to know about, I will take my leave because it looks like everybody's filing out. And I file out.
Okay. You sort of walk out. What's everybody else up to?
Did he hand me the right amount of gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was charmed. He didn't undersell you. He's also a priest. He's not gonna fucking.
Yeah, no, I
fuck
thought as much. I thought as much.
No, he paid you the right amount. There's 100. It's not all gold pieces. You can tell that a lot of that money is just donations and collections he's gotten from the church.
Gotcha. Do you
So
want
it's
to give
not
me
like
a
an official
breakdown
amount.
so I can?
No, just put 100 gold. I'm not
Okay.
gonna make you break it up.
Okay.
Alright. Lana, you're at a bookshelf. Mochi, I think that leaves you as the only other person inside.
Inside.
Yeah, what's your plan?
Okay.
There are books. There are lots of books. What kind of books are you looking for? Yeah. Investigation. There are a lot of books. Most of them are carried over by the priesthood at Westvale, but there are a few books that you haven't seen before in your extensive time in the church.
Like what?
Most of them are... What?
Like what?
Like what? most of them pertain to Giants Rest's history. You see one called sort of like it's engraved, and it says a history of a new cycle, and there's a little like stone hand open palmed on it on the cover.
She asks her cousin in Lapping, how long do you think we're going to be in this town?
He is outside.
Oh, dang.
He had to book it pretty fast.
Then maybe she should be thinking about booking it too. I don't know.
While you're thinking about that, the head priest sort of looks down at the cask of wine, and Mochi, you see him blink a few times, and then he looks at you and he goes, "They're resourceful, aren't they?" And with a heavy sigh, he takes the wine and starts walking to the back of the room.
There might be a sigh of relief out of the cleric.
He's unamused, but
She
he's not
puts
gonna
the
be
books back on the shelf and hops
angry.
outside.
Okay. You guys head outside. There are now a gaggle of 6 people in a fairly small alley, but you guys are here.
So perhaps now that we're done with the church, maybe we should go to the tavern, perhaps?
What time of day is it?
It's still morning. It's getting later in morning. You guys, yeah, it's like 10.
Don't think I was giving any specific instructions, so if we want to take a break, I'm down.
I could do tavern.
Give me time to work on this
That's where you
trigger
thrive,
mechanism.
cousin.
What was that?
So good to go along.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, you guys heading towards the inn?
Oh, I while we're heading towards that, like I wanted to go with them to see where the inn is, but I'm gonna break away. I was like, I have to hand in my letter.
Okay. You guys walk towards Fel and Kenshim sort of lead the way and show you to where they've been staying for the last few nights. And you're like, cool, got it, and sort of slip off into an alley to go towards the Vinters Guild.
Yeah.
What's in your letter?
It's an like a not an acceptance letter, but it's like an induction letter. Yeah, it's an induction letter.
Okay.
Recognizing like a fully fledged Mead and Vinters Guild trader.
Okay.
And like doing all the guild stuff.
Yeah. You make your way through the city. Once you get more towards the guilds district, where you can tell there's larger houses and larger warehouses. You see there's people sort of carting around with like wheelbarrows, different casks, different raw materials, a lot of cut stone, and there's sort of I don't know how to explain it. You know the smell of carpentry?
Yeah. No,
Yeah, the
production makes
carpentry
Arlo
smell.
very happy.
Yeah. And as
Sawdust.
you walk closer, you see the sort of sawdust and bricks give way to kegs and casks and lots of wine. And you sort of wind your way, and standing on one of the hills in the city with like the whole city's very tight knit. So you can see like you turn the corner and there's this stone road leading up a slight incline. And there's a 2-story wooden and stone building there. And on the front it says like Giants Rest Vinters. Like nice black text.
That's it. That's the one.
All right.
I toddle on there.
You hop on up and go in. As you open the door, there's a little sort of dinging sound, and you see
I giggle at it. I like.
Okay. Leonin at the counter, in sort of like tight leather vest. You can It seems not quite made for him. But
Yeah.
he turns and goes, "Oh, hello. How can I help you?"
I say, "Hi, I'm Arlo Betterberry."
The Betterberry.
No, that's the one.
Well, it's lovely to make your acquaintance. And he reaches out a large hand.
I like hop up and like fumble my way onto the counter to shake his hand.
Okay. To clamber up a stool and then onto the counter.
Yeah.
He shakes your forearm.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
And he goes, "It's lovely to meet you. What brings you here?"
While still shaking his hand, I like unhook the like scroll case from my backpack and slide it around with my left hand.
Okay.
But I'm not breaking this handshake.
I don't think you have a choice in when the handshake breaks.
No, not at all.
He lets go of your forearm and very surprisingly delicately, with his very large hands, opens the small paper. And you see he goes, "Oh, one moment, apologies." And he rolls it up really neatly, places it on, and you see him sort of like fumbling around with the pocket of his vest, and he pulls out a small gold pair of reading glasses.
Okay.
Puts them on, and he starts reading through it. It's like,
I love this guy.
Has the handshake ended yet?
yeah, the handshake's ended.
Yeah, okay.
He's like, "Oh, so you're introducing? We have the honor of greeting a Betterberry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you all are legends in the business. What have you come here for?"
I wanted to look. I'll level with you. I'm going to be the heir of Betterberry, and I want to know our whole operation from the ground up. So I thought I would get my father to write me a recommendation for uh the Brewer Inventors Guild, so that I could partake in the preparation and sale of wine and ale.
Oh, I see. Honest work. Now,
Mhm.
those of your type don't usually come down here, but it is pleasant. I can show you around if that's your interest.
I'm a bit of a roamer.
Really? And
Yeah,
you
I
see,
would love. Well,
as he answers you, he gets up and he is towering above you, sort of like hunched
Oh.
over a bit from the low ceiling. And he
I'm
is
like
like, "Right
glancing
this
around
way."
for a second counter to get up. Yeah, I follow.
All right. He'll lead you past the counter and goes,
Mhm.
"I can show you the premises. How long are you hoping to stay here?"
I'm not sure. I was thinking maybe a week or two and see how things treat me, but I just met some people and they're really interesting. So I don't know. I'll have to check with them.
I mean, drinks always go better with company. Am I right?
Absolutely.
And he sort of tries to nudge you and sends you a few feet to the right.
I go a few feet to the right,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, yeah, no, that's the way it is.
All right. He will show you around the premises.
Okay.
Welcome to Giants Rest Venters.
Hey,
It's not quite what you're used to, but it's honest. Like, they are doing their job and they're doing it decently. It's not, Betterberry primary standard. Your guys'
Yeah.
primary facilities in Westvale are, of course, of a higher standard.
yeah, I don't
But-
judge them at all. I'm very happy
They're
to be
doing
here.
okay work. All right. Back to the tavern group. Fel and Kenshin, you have shown your newfound group of sort of like gaggle of small and tall people to the inn. What would you guys like to do?
I'd like to sit down and read the book I was handed.
Okay.
I have a thing that I need to do before we go to the tavern. I forgot.
Yep.
I am gonna try to find a place to buy tools, artisans' tools.
Okay. What kind?
I need smith's tools and wood carvers.
All right. You can go window shopping.
Okay. So
Okay.
I'll
We'll
take
get to
however
that in a
much time
second.
is. Okay.
As the other four of you get into the tavern, you guys walk in. It's morning. There's not that many people there. The people who are here seem to just be staff cleaning up. One of them walks up and sees Kenshin immediately like walk to a corner table and start reading. And she just sort of looks at him and then looks at you, Fel, and goes, "Welcome back."
Yeah, it's been a while. Not really, so we met at Gaggle for new visitors, I suppose.
Oh, I see. Will they be staying with us?
As I is up for them to decide. I actually don't know where they came from. Because I haven't seen them around the town, but actually, where did you whole life come from?
We will ask the two buddies. Mochi?
I'm from a pretty small little city. Probably haven't heard of it, so yeah.
Roll a deception check.
How would you have traveled in a caravan? I'm gonna assume.
What was that, Fergal?
I will assume all of you came in a caravan.
Yeah,
You guys
I came
did, yeah.
separately. I was just, making a delivery.
Mochi,
Winded
you
up
have
here.
seen the caravan because it was very long, but you were not part of it.
Yes.
Alright.
The barkeep sort of nods, and she goes like, "Well, more mouths to feed, I guess. Would you guys like a table?" And then she sort of looks over at Kenshin already in the corner and goes, "Guess you've picked your table." And she smiles and goes,
Yeah.
"I'll start getting things prepared for breakfast."
Thank you. And you know how he always is. I just stare wildly towards him.
Just sort of gives a knowing smile as she walks back. All right. You guys find a sort of nice sort of wooden corner table. A lot of the light in the tavern is just from sort of like the morning sun coming through each of the windows, and it is empty. It is just you guys sort of vibing in a corner together. Obviously, Fel and Kenshin, you've been here quite a while, or at least longer than a day. And most of the staff knows you do a decent amount, so they don't pay you too much mind. They're going about prepping food for lunch when people start to swing by and all that. Yeah. Kenshin, you're reading your book. What would you guys like to do?
So, Kenshin, is there answer to your problem with the sword was to give you a book?
Yeah. It was a book. It's a book on folk tales and such. My land isn't very studied, it seems. So I'm
Well-
just studying up to see if I can find anything relating.
Anything so far? Maybe I can help you read through some of the sections of the book?
Nothing really.
Hmm.
You've read about the tales of the spiked goat sucker and the red eye curse and a few other things, but not much. Nothing that really rings moon.
I just see the small title, Red Eye Curse, and then I just look at a little reflection in the window. I'm like, I wonder if I have that. With my red eyes.
Probably not.
It does have tiny red eyes. Alright. The barkeep sort of swings by and goes, "Well, to our new guests, what would you guys like for breakfast?"
Toast, eggs, orange juice, I guess.
Alright. And she'll look to Mochi. Anything for you?
I'll take a glass of milk and a bowl of fruit.
Alright. And anything for our regulars?
Well,
Some tea, probably.
tea is good. Maybe a little bit of meat for me as well.
Okay. She walks back and starts getting stuff prepped. while you guys are enjoying breakfast, Ahmet,
Yes.
you have been window shopping.
Indeed.
You've been in the city long enough to know where the market district is.
Okay.
And you find there's a few shops. Sorry, can you refresh me on what you're looking for?
I am looking for woodcarver's tools and smith's tools.
Okay, yeah, that's easy to come by. You find a sort of craftsman shop. There's an overhang made of wood with a hole cut in it, and then you see there's smoke sort of billowing out of it. And a smith is sitting there, human, sort of gruff looking. He's just minding his business, doing his smithing. You see there is a sharp, like sort of area of heat around the smith as he's working. It looks like he's working on some kind of axe. He sort of looks to you and goes, "Hey, can I help you?"
Yes, please. I was looking to purchase some tools.
"What kind of tools?"
Specifically, smith's tools, please.
"Yeah, I can arrange that. How much money you got?"
How much does it cost?
Good question. I don't know base price.
I have a
That's
player's handbook
PHP.
now. I can look that up.
PHP for the win.
It's probably like 25 or 50.
It's 20. I
20.
checked.
Okay.
Yeah. He looks back at you and goes, "Get you a decent set for about 20.
That I can pay.
Alrighty, head inside." Sort of gets up. You see him with a sort of like sigh, puts his fucking axe down and walks inside. The inside is not very well kept. There is the smell of sweat and soot, and you see there's a sort of like battered down quote unquote counter that's more of just a table there. Looks like he's had it for a few years.
All
And
right.
looks at you and goes, I'm gonna get you a tool set." Takes it off the wall, hands it to you, go, "That'll be 20.
I will hand him 20 gold.
"I appreciate it." And then he walks past you back to his axe.
Alrighty. I just say thank you, and I apologize for interrupting your work.
You hear a sort of grunt.
I will walk out.
Okay. Carpenter's tools now?
Yep. It may or may
Um,
not have been the smell of sawdust that reminded me.
As you walk through the market district, you can start making your way to where the guilds are, and you will find the decently robust Carpentries Guild, or Carpenters Guild. The guild is surprisingly one of the few almost entirely wooden buildings in the city. You see, there's a bit of a stone foundation, but everything else is wood, and it's very well crafted. Woodwork isn't the most common thing in the Tithe, so it's impressive to see. As you make your way forward, you see there's a woman sort of covered in fucking sawdust, bandana tied around her head, and she seems to be sawing away at something.
I will walk within line of sight and just say, "Excuse me."
"Oh, you're fucking tall, aren't you?"
Taller than most here, it would seem.
"Yeah. What can I get you?"
I'm looking to purchase woodcarver's tools.
"Yeah, we can work something out." And she sort of stands up, and she's about chest height. Goes, sort of cranes her neck up. Goes, "Oh, do they need to be like size larger?"
I can work with whatever you have.
"Oh, lovely." She seems genuinely impressed or like surprised. She walks back inside. She returns and goes, "Like 25 gold?"
Alrighty.
"Oh, lovely. Well, tall fucks aren't that bad." And she hands you the sort of like sack with a bunch of tools in it and makes her way back to her bench.
I would take that tall folk comment as a compliment. And I
Well,
will
see you around. It's hard to miss you, so.
thank you for the tools.
All right, she gets
And I
back to work.
I will.
As you leave the carpenter's area, you can see a fairly refreshed Arlo walking back down from the Vinters. They toured you through most of the place, showed you how their processes work. You got to be introduced to some of the people. The person at the counter, the Leonin, is sort of the assistant to the head Vinter. He was sort of on break when you walked in, just happy to show you around.
Maybe.
Yeah, they seem fairly nice. They've been working on a lot of things. You know that they're trying to get more into wine and sort of rebrand towards that because they started as a meadery, but
Oh,
it
nice.
hasn't been as successful. So they're looking to get into wine and sort of chase the success of the esteemed Betterberry clan.
Ooh, maybe we can help each other.
Mm-hmm.
I want to
Yeah.
make brews.
Sort of walk down, lost in thought, and see a very tall elf.
Oh, I know
standing
that.
there,
I
two
know that.
sacks in hand.
This
Yeah.
shit. I wave and I say, "Oh, Ahmet, it's me, Arlo Betterberry
Oh, I didn't see you down there.
of the Westvale Better." Oh yeah, it's me.
Fancy seeing you out here.
Yeah, fancy seeing you. What are you doing? What are you doing all the way out here?
I had tools I need to restock on.
I should have did that.
Are you a craftsman yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. I make the wine. I make an ale. I want to make ale. I was gonna get a brewer's kit, but I left. I forgot about it.
I am able
forgot
to wait
about it.
if you want to go back and purchase them.
On brand.
No, it's okay. I'll get them later. It's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
We got-
What are
we
you
got
doing?
nothing but
What do you
time.
want to do? No, it's okay.
I was going to head back to the tavern. I don't think I need anything else.
Oh yeah. No, let's go back to the tavern. That's okay.
Alrighty. I
Okay.
will hopefully trace my steps back to the tavern. 'Cause I'm pretty sure I cut off before I was showed where it was.
I remember the. And I
You
did.
guys mostly on the way find your way back to the tavern. You get a little lost for a bit. You get some directions. And you guys walk in to see the four of your pals in a slightly more crowded tavern. You see there's a few families that have come in, a few workers on break for lunch, and they're all eating. Lunch is being sent around. Sorry, go on.
As Hothead walks through the door, I want to walk in sort of backwards behind him, already strumming my lute,
Okay.
and then I want to jump around and face the whole tavern, and play my best rendition of Malnak the Brave.
That square has
Okay.
already been marked off.
Yep. All right. Make a performance. You made 15?
Yeah.
Okay. You sort of make your way to the corner and you start strumming. And you see the families are good with it. Some of the workers sort of look at you just sort of deadpan like, what the fuck are you doing? But the more you play, they're more sort of in line with it. And you see the man from earlier who had the kid looks at you, and you see he leans over to a guy next to him and whispers something to him, and they all sort of look up and start looking at you.
Okay.
Yeah, you start playing music. Ahmet, are you slinking by to the table?
I will find the biggest table that's not occupied,
Yeah.
and I will spread out all my tools and everything and
Okay.
begin tinkering away.
You guys watch as Ahmet finds one of the long tables made for like mostly catering and stuff, and he like pushes like the flower pot to the corner of it, moves some things out, and then just dumps a ton of tools on the table.
I just kind of spring up and I try to run to him. And I'm like, Ahmed, maybe not here. This is food area.
You've definitely drawn a few eyes on that.
I will awkwardly put most of the tools away, but I will go join the rest of the table with just my Tinker's tools and the mechanism out.
Okay.
If
So
you want an open area in which you could use your tools, I can lead you to the rooms that me and Kenshin stayed in for a little while.
If everybody's staying and conversing down here, I'll linger. It's fine.
the barkeep walks out and walks up to you, Fel, and goes, "More friends of yours.
Yeah.
You have some interesting connections." And she looks at Ahmet and goes, well, would you like anything for lunch?
Surprise me.
As she asks
Alright.
that, I
Yeah.
I get to the part in the song where the like music cuts off for a sec, and I look
Mhm.
directly at her, and in the lyrics of the song, I say, "And bring me a mead," and then I start playing again.
You get a few chuckles out of the workers.
Okay.
And she's like, she sort of squints at you, and then she looks at Fel and goes, does he actually want it, or is that sort of part of his, character?
You know, I haven't figured out. I met him today.
My
I mean-
character should know that, so which is it?
Yeah, no, it is Lana. Lana knows that I want it.
Oh,
Okay.
He's being serious.
Well, all right, if he's paying. And she walks back behind the counter.
Just had a very profitable afternoon, morning. Blech. I can
It's like
talk.
noon now, yeah.
Out of curiosity, does your cousin, right?
Correct, cousin.
And I kind of lean in and try to whisper a little bit. Is he an alcoholic?
No, brewing fine wines is what his family does. It's what he was born to do.
Oh, okay. I just awkwardly sit back in my
Okay.
He doesn't
question.
stack his own supply, Fergor.
All right. Do you guys have things you would like to discuss? I'm giving you a chance. Okay. While you guys sit on that, while you're tinkering, she comes back with a plate, and you see there's some roast sausages, there's some pastries, there's a very large tankard of mead as well, and a few things. And she goes, "You didn't look like you were from around here, so I figured I'd give you our rundown."
Thank you.
Of course. And she lays this very large plate of assorted meats and pastries and stuff, and there's little sort of like potato dumplings. And then she grabs the large tankard of mead, and she marches up to Arlo and places it at the base of where you're singing, and goes, and sort of leans in and goes, "Next time you can just ask."
and then like I get to the part of the song where the lyrics are, and I did just ask, and I stop playing, and I say that, and then I finish the song.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Yeah.
She looks at you
Aw.
fairly unamused and walks back.
What
I
Lana
nurse
has
my
to put up with.
All right. Are there things you guys wish to accomplish in the day? Or are we
Well-
moving on in the day?
I've got.
We can-
Anyone needs
yeah.
to do immediately today?
Do what?
You
And you
I'm
want
prefer
to-
checking if you guys are carrying on eating food, discussing things, reading, and tinkering, respectively.
I don't have
Okay.
anything else.
Here's the thing. Dizzy
Mhm.
finished playing, right?
Dizzy has now finished his song rather triumphantly.
Okay.
Dizzy, you
Well,
see
I
the
know another person read the book of Balnak.
The book of what?
Have I read the books of Malnak? Yeah, and I rummage. I've like pulled my knapsack over onto my lap and rummage through it, and I just start pulling out copy by copy different works of Malnak and stacking them on top of each other.
You brought
I'll
one
proceed to
with
do the same thing.
and there are now
I
2 piles of trilogies.
yeah, no, I'm matching them one for one. I'm so excited, and I'm like, oh, you're a Malnak fan too, and then I crack the book and show them that they're official signed copies of Malnak's trilogy.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I got this from a mentor.
You're
I
not a
open up and it
fan
has
of
a
Malnak?
different signature inside of it.
Oh, I thought you were a Malnak fan. I'm sorry, and I started slowly putting the books away.
No, it's okay.
Oh, okay. I see.
While those 2 nerd out about their past characters, do any of the other 4 want to do anything?
I am going to like very focusedly like hunch over and look at the mechanism very closely and just say, if you feel a thud, you might have been hit by a spring. Brace for it.
Okay. Can you roll a hmm.
When you roll Tinker's
Looking at
Tools
the thing.
using
Yeah, I guess you roll Tinkers using int.
okay, I think. Hang on. So Tinker's Tools, intelligence. Ha ha!
All right. You guys
Right.
hear a very satisfying click. And Ahmet super excitedly is like standing in front of this completed trigger mechanism. Most of you don't really see what changed about it, but he seems happy.
So close. One step closer. Do you know? I'll look at Mochi because she's the one who delivered the parts, and I'll look at her. Do you know how long I've been waiting to get this?
I very slowly lift my ears up because I was bracing myself for a spring to hit me in the face. And I shake my head and I go, I have no idea, but I'm ready to see how this works.
I lost track of time, but I will hold up the mechanism up in the air, stand up, and just goes, but it's done!
You see one of the guys in the inn sort of goes, "How are you talking about?"
I did not mean to get that loud. And I will awkwardly sit back down and like just dust off my vest and
Guy just sort of shrugs, goes back to his drink.
I start
will-
plunking away on the lyre, and I play the song. The mechanism is done. It's an it's an old sea shanty.
Oh my
Yeah, okay.
gosh.
A naval tune.
Got him.
All right.
From your last character.
Are you singing it or just playing it?
I'm just both, but quietly.
Okay, you're just sort of humming it, huh?
No.
All right. Okay. Arlo goes back to plucking away. Ahmet, you have successfully created a trigger mechanism.
so close,
So close.
yet so far. And I will open a large, very unorganized leather-bound journal and just start flipping through and writing things down.
Okay. Ahmet is taking furious notes. Alright. Anything any of the rest of you want to do?
Yeah, it just occurs to Arlo that he should also have a journal, and he asks Ahmet to make a note in his journal about Arlo getting a journal because he doesn't have one.
I shall. And I will
Thank
flip
you.
through the front few pages, write that down, and then go back to what I was writing.
There's now a note saying Arlo should take notes.
Yeah.
That's how the next
Excellent.
chapters of Malnek are written.
This is true. All right. Anything else? Okay, we're gonna mosey along to nighttime though. You guys can spend most of the day sort of sharing some stories, hanging out in the inn. You guys get some food. Can everybody pay like we'll say 2 gold for everybody for like food, drink, all that.
2 gold per person?
Yeah, per person. Any of you we'll get to that. Yeah, you guys should leisurely take your time, hang out, get some food. Eventually the barkeep comes back to your guys' table and goes, so the new 4 of you, will you be staying with us?
I do
I
believe
look
I
to
am.
Arlo.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. Lana, let's stay here.
Okay.
Okay.
I nod my head too, and I say, I was planning on staying outside and, burring a little bit, but yeah, I'm down. I'm trying to stay here. Change of scene.
There are dogs
Yeah.
sort of barking in a nearby alley.
We have like 4 dogs in our
No,
neighborhood,
you're good,
including
you're good.
mine,
I love-
so
I love
I'm
'em.
moving around right now.
Ahmed?
I have more research to conduct in this city, so I believe I shall.
All right. Say like a silver for the night.
Oh, you're gonna make me do math?
A gold
Conversion.
for the night.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm
Even.
paying silver.
You can pay a silver.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do math, you can pay a gold. For the 2 new people, it's 10-10-10 conversion. So 10 copper for a silver, 10 silver for a gold. And
Okay,
10
so
gold for a plat.
so I took out 2 from like 2 minutes ago, and then just take 1 copper. Got it.
Sure. Sure. I'm not doing math right now. My
Yeah,
brain
fair
is
enough,
fried.
fair
but
enough.
If you,
absolutely.
Yo,
No one wants to do
Love
math.
that.
Even the
from the
DM.
2 gold
Love it.
pieces I gave you, that's 20 silver.
I'll get.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
okay. I think I'm good.
Okay.
I think it's fine.
Somebody
Everything's
will
fine.
figure something out.
Yes.
All right. Then you guys can retire to bed. What time is it? 6,
You're
7,
the
10.
DM.
Time to get ill.
I on my phone
You're the
musical,
DM.
not do not hit me with you're the DM. Fuck's sakes. Oh my god.
And you keep doing campaigns with us.
It's something. We have new people. We have fresh faces. 3 of them. Half of those parties, new people.
And you know at least 2 of them are
Hello.
also heathens.
Hello. Shang and Hothead are adequate heathens.
Just adequate.
Adequate heathens.
Yo, we
Alright.
take those.
As you guys head to bed, there's just sort of one big like sleeping area on the 2nd floor. And you see there's like 8-10 beds strewn there. There's a handful of people already in there sleeping when you get up there. But you guys can take to it and rest. While you guys are resting, let's take a 5-minute break to do whatever you need to do, whether that's pissing or getting a snack or just sitting here. Whatever the fuck. We'll take a 5.
I'm gonna
Making
fill
Making
up
the
my
DM
vape and
question
get
his
water.
decisions.
You guys do that without or with break musical.
That's true.
Yes.
That's a constant. I'm gonna think about how I have to scrim directly after this and be worried about that.
Yeah, that's a vibe shift right there.
Vanessa,
Mhm.
do you remember the death burger I had to eat during character creation?
I do remember the death burger very vividly, actually.
I ordered another one today.
Oh god! Oh
Why did
no!
you
Death
order
burger.
another death burger?
So
Explain.
that's gonna show up at some point during my scrim, and we'll see how that goes because I'm gonna eat that while
Oh,
playing
no.
Overwatch.
Every
Wow.
time there was a pregnant pause during the character creation, I was like, he's probably taking a bite of the death burger right now.
You'd pause to do something and I'd mute and just take one bite and then sit there chewing for like 30 seconds.
It was dead silent. I'm like, yep, probably chewing. I'll
I'm
give
sorry
it. I'll give
about
it to him.
that.
Did
I
Pecan make as
understand.
bad of a dietary decision as I usually do?
I make nothing but bad dietary decisions.
I mean, at least they're
I don't-
dietary decisions. Chang doesn't make any.
Those are all
I'm
wash.
lactose intolerant and I love dairy, so
Oh no. Oh no.
Hey Dizzy,
it doesn't let
Yeah.
me back.
do you want to explain to Vanessa your fucking car crash of a digestive system?
What?
I will. I'll when I
Should
get
put an
back
athlete.
upstairs, I'll link the things I'm allowed to eat.
Yeah.
Please
Dizzy-
enlighten me.
Dizzy has a very select few things he can eat.
Mhm.
It's not much.
I'm so sorry.
Aiden,
What about
Yep.
Dizzy isn't a car crash?
I'm going preemptively
I'm
get some
decent
ice
enough.
cream for the scrim. You'll need it.
Remember when I was
You're,
literally in a car
I'm sorry. You're gonna get ice cream to help me with my script.
No, you preemptively
Oh,
get ice
I
cream.
don't have ice cream.
What?
That's why I'm ordering.
He has a
the
death
fucking-
How are you even able to play
the
Overwatch?
Tokyo Tower.
How are
What?
you even
That is
able to
called
play
the
Overwatch
Tokyo
without ice
Tower.
cream, dude?
Listen, there's nothing
Oh, you
more.
ordered from Katsu Burger?
Yeah, I got from Katsu. Eating a Tokyo Tower while doing character creation is fucking something.
I agree.
I haven't had yeah, Vanessa no second hand. I had to deal with me fucking shove my face full of a burger.
Again, pregnant
Again.
pause, and I'm like, am I being left unheard? and then you unmuted and went, I'm sorry, I'm chewing. I'm like, all right, understandable.
Fuck
That's because
sakes.
Pecan's courteous.
I do, yeah, I don't make aggressive noises about what I'm doing into mic, because I wouldn't
Dizzy.
do that, because I have respect for the other people in the call.
Yo,
this
that's
this sounds a
crazy.
little pointed right
Dizzy.
now.
It's a little pointed.
A little pointed.
Dizzy
Rather
doesn't
muted.
vape with mic on, he vapes like into the microphone.
I think he might be vaping with the microphone.
It is
Eat
the
the
loudest
microphone.
shit.
I love it.
Fuck's sake.
Okay, I'm gonna link it in bullshit.
Okay.
Oof.
I'm allowed to eat the green, definitely not allowed to eat the red, and I'm horribly allergic to milk.
Oh, wait. Wait, you can't eat fruit?
Not, I
You
mean,
can eat some.
not really. I can
You
eat
like-
some.
You can eat an amount of blueberries.
Yeah.
A morsel
much,
of blueberry.
An amount.
Yeah.
What the?
Bamboo shoots though.
Bamboo shoots.
Nice.
All right, bamboo shoots are pretty good.
They're not
They're
bad.
good.
They're not bad. I
I don't
agree.
think I'd want to only eat bamboo shoots.
Yeah, when it becomes your main food source, like a
You're
panda.
a literal panda.
Yeah. Yeah,
This is
I'm pretty depressed.
so.
musical.
Oh, oh no! It's the guitar.
Okay.
You know what?
That
I
is the
feel
most
that.
polite way I've heard that said.
Very eloquent. I love it.
Actually taking notes though.
Does
I
it-
meant
This is
for
this is
the
so sad.
Is
Oh
it?
my.
not for
Is it?
suicide. Yeah, yeah.
does it-
Oh my gosh! What? You can't eat spring onions? Onions! You can't eat onions!
No.
Oh, onions are so
musical.
good. Oh,
Onion. The only
Onions
good
are
onions are.
amazing.
The only good way to eat onions is onion rings.
That's not
You southern bastard.
controversial.
This man is American as a fuck.
I got southern blood in me, baby.
Adam, you're not just
I love-
fucking
okay,
telling
I
me
love
the
just, like,
only
I,
way
the
you
only way, the only good onion is a fried onion ring.
Tell us you're American without telling us you're
I am
American.
and I am southern.
He's from
I love,
fucking
like,
Tennessee, right?
Tennessee, baby.
I love
Straight from the
Tennessee,
south.
Like my
Oh,
cooking,
man.
like throwing some like green onion on something. Like it's.
Home of
I
Elvis Presley,
slowly
baby.
added garlic and onions and bread back into my diet, but like so gently. so cautiously.
Sprinkle
Also-
of garlic.
Yeah.
Love that.
Fergor, how many squares do you have in the bingo? I only have 3, including the free one. Oh wait, Fergor's gone.
He's
Well,
gone.
to
Oh.
y'all who have been keeping track of the bingo, including the free, I have 3 squares marked.
Is there a y'all?
I don't know. Is nobody else? I thought we were keeping
I
track of it.
think it might just be you and Franco.
You can
I'm
cover
already-
the Vanessa's confused. Oh,
Well,
go for it.
Azan's not here anymore.
Yeah, nah. So that's
Azan
one
isn't
square. Is that
It takes
is that
everything in
marked?
my
Is
power.
that another free one or?
The Vanessa is confused. Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
we take that. Yo, I'm close. Okay, now
I
is
have
the-
a
is the-
suggestion.
is the
You
have light
Azan-
streak?
I have a question. Is the Azan commenting a square that is unable to be accessed, or is that a second free one?
It's unable to
Since
be
the man will
accessed.
be MIE. Since the man
Yeah,
will be
you'll
MIA.
have to. We'll have to redo the bingo card, but
There are
Okay.
websites for this where you could just feed it a bunch of things and it'll generate random bingo cards.
oh, that's cool.
Dizzy,
Okay.
Dizzy, you can't have light sheet.
Nah, man.
You poor
No
bastard.
light sheet for Disney. Yeah, no.
Poor bastard.
It's brutal.
Wait, I didn't even notice. Wait, no.
But
No.
I can have light sheet.
No.
You know what?
I can have light sheet, babe.
That's fine. Dizzy said so much worse on mine and his stream, so
Oh yeah.
Wait, you can't have fennel.
Name one thing. No, I can't have fennel. Yeah.
Eggplant's
Wait.
horrible. I
Wait,
dislike
can
it.
you-
love
can you not-
eggplant.
Can you not have
Dizzy.
fennel seeds?
No, I can't have fennel seeds.
Oh, okay.
Dizzy. I
Mhm.
have a-
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna ignore what Musical and
No.
Hothead are saying because they're just blatantly
Musical,
incorrect.
you're my favorite
But-
person
Yeah.
in this call right now.
Dizzy,
Never have I disagreed more than opinion.
what the fuck do you use dandelion for? It
Munching
says
on.
you can't eat dandelion, but I've never seen dandelion.
You know
eaten.
what's really fucked up? I'm I'm Mohawk, and we make food and drink out of dandelion.
Motherfucker.
I know
You're
there's
the only
dandelion
person
wine.
that rule applies to.
No, I'm in a
Swear
very
to God.
specific, prejudicated group here. Like I don't.
Yeah, I don't think I've
least-
ever seen dandelion in anything.
No, this
Yeah,
is why
same.
this is why God answers my prayers with cash money.
I should have added that as an interview question.
Yeah.
At least you can have bok
Answers
choy.
my que- I'm writing that down.
Izzy,
Yeah.
Do you think that would have added poignancy to the essay if I had just added a list of you explaining everything wrong with your body?
Yeah.
Just like.
Oh.
I mean, Dizzy has been smite.
I've been smelled. Like, damn.
Fuck.
That's a power
wrong.
statement right there.
Oh my gosh.
That's a power statement.
Truly.
They're not wrong.
True, true.
They're not wrong. He did. He did too.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh my
Concern
gosh.
me.
welcome to D&D, Shang and Vanessa.
I love this. I love this so much. Other than the controversial opinions of not liking onions and eggplant.
Correct.
And
And
mushrooms.
mushrooms of
Onion
not
and
liking
eggplant
onions
is
or
wrong.
eggplant.
They're so good.
I'm
You can't have bell peppers?
I can't have
No.
green bell peppers.
Yeah, he can
I
have,
can have
some
red
bell
and yellow.
peppers.
But those are just different points of ripeness,
Some.
aren't they?
No, no, they're not. Green bell peppers are completely different.
Interesting.
What the heck?
Can't have plums either? God damn.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Plums
eh,
exist, to be honest.
Plums are
Hothead.
okay.
After you and Musical's opinions and the fucking the Frito thing.
What you mean?
Frito thing.
What you got against Fritos, huh?
No, not
Oh,
Fritos. The what's it fucking
Something like
called?
a Frito pie,
Frito
right?
pie.
Yeah, Frito pie. After Frito pie and your two
The
opinions
heck?
on food, I don't want. I feel like everything that isn't on either coast of the United States shouldn't talk about food. There's a middle
funny.
band that just
Listen,
doesn't
man.
know food.
I
That's fair,
find-
that's
okay,
fair,
there is
I,
a
I
one
believe,
food.
I believe that.
There is a one food
No,
that
okay.
my people specialize in, and that's a barbecue and anything fried.
Musical, the
Ooh.
only other person I know from Chicago is Rich, and rich is not somebody you want backing you when it comes to food.
Oh,
No.
You don't want me backing any conversation.
That man hasn't had pho in Washington.
You're from Chicago.
what?
You're from Chicago.
What?
You guys had what?
She won't eat pizza.
That's just a whack. Pepperoni
I
pizza's
am
the best
blown
pizza, don't
away
at me.
right now. I am blown.
What
away.
in the musical? You are no
Chicago
longer my favorite
born and
person.
raised.
Musical, I thought you would be my ally here. I was betrayed.
I would do heinous,
Trust
heinous
no
crimes
one.
to taste pizza again.
Trust no one.
Wait, Dizzy can't even have garlic.
Truly.
No, I can't have garlic, dog.
You can't have most things.
Shang,
Shang-
stop being surprised.
Yeah, Shang, how are you surprised? You're the one person that's been through this so many times.
You've seen this list before.
Yeah, we've had this
I
talk
don't-
like
no,
6
no,
times.
I haven't looked closely at it.
Yeah, no, it's rough.
skimmed over it. It's rough.
No, it's brutal.
It's really rough.
Oh,
Oh,
that's sad.
Jesus.
apple
Yeah,
cider
I
is
also love apple cider.
pretty good.
I live next to Wellesley. They're the only thing they're known for is apple butter and apple cider, and I'm so
No!
I'm so sorry.
yeah.
We're sorry for your loss.
Wait, actually, question.
Mhm.
Can you drink boba?
I have to like ask them for like the ingredients list.
Okay, I saw tapioca and I was like, my entire life is structured around boba, and I just wanted to ask that question
That is
so I could die in peace.
Fair,
but-
fair.
very much the same with Sylvia.
I regret to inform you, I've never had boba.
Are
You
you?
are
I
so
don't even know
bad.
what you're talking
No,
about.
He lives in
not dying
Arkansas.
peace.
This isn't surprising.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. I take it back. I take it back.
Southern
Understandable.
to the core.
I have no idea
No,
what
I
you're
don't
talking
think
about.
anybody in Arkansas knows what boba
Boba.
is.
It's
Never
so,
heard of
it's
it.
literally just
If I was in
tapioca
Tennessee,
balls.
there'd be a higher chance of me being able to get like
Every-
actual boba.
maybe,
But no,
yeah.
not here.
In a city.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Every time I went out, when I could
Mhm.
have gone out, unfortunately,
Sad.
Imagine.
every time I'd go out with like Sylvia or something, we'd always just get some form of boba every time.
Yes. Yes.
What does it even taste like?
Okay.
It's a drink.
It's like these little tapioca like balls or
bubble
pearls.
tea.
It adds texture to your drink. It's so don't no
It's
not coming from
With
the
No.
With the
person
exception of
who
ice,
said
there should not
onion
be
tastes
solid.
Don't you
It's
dare!
good, it's good.
Yeah,
With
musical.
the
You
exception
would,
of ice, there should be no solids in a drink.
musical
No,
would not
it's
yes.
like the balls, but you can have
Alright.
it without them, and it's still good.
You
Agreed
can't.
on no solids and drinks.
If anyone comes to
Unless it's like a lemon
California or
slice or something,
LA,
because that's mwah.
I'll treat
Yeah.
you to boba. Musical,
Oh,
if you come
wait.
to LA, I will buy you boba.
No,
If
this
I
is
come
important.
to LA, it'll be
Dizzy.
because I've lost my will
Yeah.
to live.
Does she say it like it?
I
Fair
heard
enough.
the word and I didn't hear how
Vanessa.
she said it.
Vanessa, I need you
Yeah.
to just say the word LA because he gives me shit for saying it like an asshole. I need you to just say
LA?
the.
LA.
She kind of does
Wait.
a little bit, right?
Oh my fucking
Wait,
god!
wait a minute, wait a
How
minute,
else
hold
do I
on.
say LA?
This man gives me so much shit for this.
Wait,
Wait.
how are you supposed to say
Dude,
LA?
no, do yours,
How am
Dizzy.
I
How do you?
supposed to say it?
No, have Dizzy say what he thinks we sound like, because he thinks everyone from California sounds like this.
It sounds like you guys said what?
Huh?
What? We're like the
Olay.
snootiest motherfuckers.
You don't know boba tea till you had an what?
What?
You've been to LA.
You've
so
been
fucking stupid.
How are you? I was gonna say, how are you supposed to say LA?
Wait,
LA.
yes.
It's 2
LA.
letters.
LA.
You just
LA.
say LA.
I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm
Is
gonna
there a
keep
different way to
saying
say
it till
LA?
it sticks.
How do you say LA?
It's too fucking
He's spicy.
No, Dizzy thinks everybody from California is like a fucking like from the valley and is just snooty as fuck. And I don't
swear.
understand why.
I swear I'm not.
It's such a massive fucking state.
it do be pretty big.
How does
Yeah.
your
No,
opinion on
but
how like Southern people pronounce things, if that's bad.
Yeah,
Well, even
I
Southern,
don't want
there's
Dizzy to
quite
go to
a
the south.
range. Like I have a friend from Texas
you
who has no
imagine Dizzy?
accent at all.
That's true.
Ooh.
Dizzy,
Yeah.
how much shit would you have given to me if I had spent a consistent like year or two in Mass and started talking with the Boston accent?
Oh,
Oh
God.
fuck me.
Because if
That
I'm
would've
We would not be
hilarious.
friends.
Aiden,
if
I would
I'm
rip into
not
you
on
for that.
Discord that much and I'm at a dorm surrounded by people speaking with a Boston accent, eventually I'm gonna pick up that accent.
Go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
can't
could.
wait.
fair.
Like
That's
if I'm in
terrible.
North Carolina with my
I'm gonna
family, I
start
could pick up an
practicing my
accent in like
Boston
3
accent
days.
right now.
Dear
Mhm.
God.
If I ever show up with a Boston accent, even a hint of one, I want to be this to be pointed out, and then for me to just go on a sabbatical to figure out what went wrong.
No.
Like I
That
can't.
I
we're-
want to be
You
shamed by
realize
my
we're not
peers.
going to do that now just because we want to watch you suffer.
I just say we're just gonna make fun of you.
A little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit.
I love my friends.
Friends
here
like
to
us who
support
needs
you.
enemies.
they
Where-
keep
where
they keep
the
you
fuck is
accountable. Don't
Fergor?
worry.
He's here.
I am
I
here.
don't wait.
Oh, I didn't know he was
Hello.
back. I
The
was waiting for
goblin?
him.
Did the goblin
Oh,
leave?
he's been texting me since 7:17.
He was muted.
Oh,
He's been here for like 20
Oh,
minutes.
he's muted again. No, Shane, you
Goblin
can't give me
gremlin.
shit. He said nothing.
No, no,
I
no,
mean,
no,
He just
no, no,
muted, and I was like, all right, I guess he's gone.
no, 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 that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, he's been here for 20 minutes. He hasn't said a word.
Yeah, he hasn't said anything.
Who are you, Zon?
Take it,
I
Fergor!
thought he went to go get
He's
food.
in the
It's been 20 minutes
shadows.
and he hasn't said a word.
Fergor, don't pull in a Zon.
Whoa,
Fergor,
Nobody
you
wants to
can't
pull
do
in
me
a
like
Zon.
this.
Was I supposed to crunch on on whatever?
Ah, okay, yes,
No,
you're
but you can
okay,
go.
cool.
Okay, I'm back. That's it.
I tried, but I came back in the middle of Food Wars.
Knowing
Yes. Yes.
then fucking message me. You
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
I
message
should have
Dizzy.
I messaged the Disney and
Yeah,
Vanessa.
just go, okay, I'm back. Oh my god. None of those are the people that need to know this.
The immediate shots fired in all directions that this conversation devolved to.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's
We're
great.
gonna do some things are gonna happen over the night. So we're gonna do the night, and then we'll do the morning, and then we'll probably leave all past that for next session because it is already 6:30, and that way I can at least breathe like at least 3 breaths before having to deal with hard tilting in video games.
Ice cream.
I don't have ice cream. I wish I had ice cream.
We all wish
I'm
we had
so
ice
worried
cream.
about this
You have a
burger being
burger.
dropped in front of me. Yeah.
I have ice cream sandwiches.
Mail 'em.
Oh,
They're made
they're
of
superior.
coconut
Don't
ice
have
cream.
room in my
Please
freezer for
mail
that.
me an ice cream sandwich. Dude.
I'm on it. You
Fuzzy,
fucking
how
know I
strong's
will.
your arm?
Pretty good. Well, one
Toss
of them's completely fucked, but the other one's pretty good.
Toss ice cream sandwich.
All right.
I mean,
Are
you're in
you
like
open?
the middle of Canada, right?
Yeah.
You're in central Canada. I
Well,
think you can read.
yeah, essentially, yeah, essentially.
Yeah, central Canada.
On the
swear.
East Coast.
Okay. It's time for me to stop ranting about food and put on the DM voice and do the DMing.
Parent voice?
Hothead, are you ready?
Yes?
The Doorcraft. What the fuck was the question mark?
I feel like I'm yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Dizzy, are you ready?
Hell yeah.
Fergor, are you ready?
Yes.
Musical, are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Mystic, are you ready?
What the fuck?
Shane, are you ready?
Yeah.
Vanessa, are you ready?
I'm good to go.
All right, we did it.
That threw me so off. Who the fuck?
And I felt like throwing it back. Okay. So during the night. Oh god, I have to pull up my notes. Give me a second. I should have had this prepped, but I really fucking didn't. Okay. While you guys sleep, and this is all of you, you guys are met not with the comforting rest you expected, but with a lot of nightmares. During the night, you continually dream of a large stone structure, sort of like nestled seemingly in the wilderness, and it's sort of decrepit, nestled between the hills. And surrounding the structure, you see bodies. Some of them look like they might still be alive. Others are very old, like skeletons in armor. Sort of strewn laying around the entrance. And on top of the stone building, there is a massive dragon skeleton, sort of like draped over the building and the hill it's built into. And it looks like it's been there for a long time. Everything's starting to be overgrown with moss and grasses and flowers. And in the dream, you guys are slowly pulled forward towards the entrance, and you see peering from the entrance, there is a single red eye, and it's glaring into your like soul, into your heart of hearts, just sort of staring at you unblinking from this darkness. And the nightmare keeps flashing between the statue or the stone structure and like different angles of it, and then flashing to pure darkness where you're just met with this round red eye. Just and it looks not just malicious or angry, but desperate. And it's staring at you. And you guys wake up. You guys have not had the best rest, but
Question.
yes.
Does the meditating elf also receive this dream? I don't know how
Mhm.
that works without
You
people.
Yeah.
when you go into your trance, it can still affect you.
Ah, okay.
It's not tied to sleeping; it's tied to lack of full consciousness.
Arlo is under his bed in fetal position.
Okay. As you guys wake up, Arlo's hiding under the bed. I'm gonna let you guys handle waking up. But you guys have all shared in this fairly shitty vision. You don't know everybody else who's there, but you all have had this.
So I'll get up on Zakat and I'm gonna look at Kenshin. What does the look on his face tell me? Mystic?
Very stoic. No emotion.
He's not that worst dream.
Yeah.
Man, it's a normal Tuesday
Kenshin's just
night.
like, I've seen worse eyes. He's
Well-
sort of sitting there.
I make a small nut, get dressed, and I go down onto the mess hall.
Alright. Everybody else? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you poke me, I like PTSD out. I'm like, ah, eyes. I had a dream. Yeah, I had big angry eye dreams. Desperate eye dreams, I think. Yeah, you're right. And I start getting all my stuff together.
I grab my book and just walk downstairs.
Alright. Fel
Yes.
and Kenshin head backstairs. Mochi and Ahmet, what are you guys up to?
I've been awake for a little bit, kind of just trying to process everything, but I think once everyone starts mobilizing down, I kind of get myself up, stretch a little bit, do a couple hops to get the blood circulating, and also head down, because what better way to fix a nightmare than breakfast?
Great. Alright. Ahmet?
I guess, would I be the first awake since trance, or how does that work?
Yeah, you would have been met with that early and have spent most of the night being able to sort of process that.
Okay.
Obviously, seeing Arlo scream in the middle of the night and crawl under his bed sort of confirms your suspicions.
Okay. I will stand up grab all my gears, holding the cannon especially close, and I will head downstairs, nose still in my, now even deeper in my book.
All right. As you guys head down and sort of get ready for breakfast, the barkeep sort of walks over and goes, "Oh, you all aren't looking too well. Something went wrong."
Bad dreams. Arlo says his head's like on the bar, and he's just pouring himself a glass from his own reserves.
Apparently a shared bad dream.
Oh,
Arlo like perks up at you.
Wait, what'd you say?
Arlo looks at you when you say shared bad dream.
I guess I'll be the first to say it out loud to everybody. Y'all saw that red eye, right?
Yeah.
Quite
Arlo takes a big old drink.
Nod with my ears.
Anything for you, barkeep?
No, but I that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Just the one eye? There weren't, multiple or
Just
something
one
else?
eye.
One
eye,
desperate.
Okay.
and bodies crawling towards the decrepit structure. You know, every sign of a bad juju. I think it might be the curse of the red eye.
As people are talking, Arlo pulls out the lute and just starts playing minor chords in the background.
Oh,
You see her face gets pretty pale and she's like, "I'll fix you a spot of breakfast," and walks back behind the counter.
That's not
starts
a normal
prepping things.
reaction.
Oh, me too.
I
While
That's
open,
you
not a normal
guys-
reaction to hearing
and
your
I open
customers
my
had
book
bad
and
dreams.
read the passage on Curse of the Red Eye.
Okay.
Are we able?
Um,
Am I able to see this book title?
Yeah. Yeah, you would have seen it when he exited the shop with it. Or no, not the shop, the church.
I will. Oh,
So the Red Eye Curse is a curse of malignant intent that has plagued Giants Rest for generations. And it goes on about how like an ancient king once died and he was so angry and so upset at his assassination that he has gazed ever disappointingly upon the kingdom that forgave him or forsaken him. And it's a lot of like building it up as like this and then like the king was slain in his own room, and it's very poetic, but what you can glean from it that you would care about is it seems to have in the past affected people in the town and or in the city, and it seems like people are drawn to whatever that structure is. The story speaks of that being like the last hold of the fallen king, but that's about it.
I relay
Does-
the information to everyone else.
Hmm.
So that's ominous.
Quite petty, I'd say.
Oh, attention. Are you sure your sword didn't decide to curse all of us in addition?
Different god. I know it's a different god. This talks about not my land.
Hmm.
Slade King.
While you guys are sort of discussing, you see a man makes his way towards you, and it looks like he's wearing like middle class craftsman clothes, but they're very unkempt. He hasn't done much to sort of fix his appearance, and there's deep, dark circles under his eyes. And he's sort of unshaven, and his hair's a bit of a mess. He walks up and goes, "Oh, I know those looks. You have the curse, don't you?"
Yep.
So it's a curse. not
Yeah.
prison.
Do you also have the curse?
Well, yes, I've had it for a few weeks now. And he looks disheveled desperation at you.
Have you not been sleeping?
Not well. You know, it gets worse every night. It keeps you up, draws you close. It keeps whispering to me.
Can you define the whispering? Say what it does whisper to you?
It asks me to go, to free it. The eye.
You should not do that.
So many have left.
How many have left?
Maybe a few dozen. Nobody I knew close. But
And you-
it started with bad dreams. People made comparisons to the old tale, but nothing major. And then, well, I think your friend there has it in his book. No, he
Shang
did
explained
relay it to you,
all
though.
of us.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
explained.
Do you know anything more?
I mean, I know the queen wants it gone, but I'm in no suit to deal with that.
Do you know where this structure is?
I mean, you can follow those that have already walked there. Yeah, I can mark it down for you.
I swapped down my map. Swap.
All right. He with a shaky
oh,
hand
Suddenly,
marks it on your map. What's up, Fergal?
I just look over to Arlo. I'm like, look at you being all up and about it.
I want to know where it is and how far do I think it is from where we are?
Judging on the map, it's maybe a day's journey, day and a half.
So not
there's-
everybody here experiences it. Sorry, I don't know.
No. There's 1 second. There's two ways you can get to it. Because it'll be like day and a half, 2 days if you take the road, but it's sort of off into the wilderness, and if you just cut into the hills, it will be shorter.
Mm.
So you're asking if everybody's dealt with it?
Yeah.
It's like, no. It started with just one. Sort of went into the square rambling like a madman, but more and more every night.
How long ago was the first one?
Few weeks, maybe?
Arlo sits back and puffs out his chest and breathes heavily for a little while and drinks some more, and then looks around at everyone and he says, "I think we need to have an audience with the queen."
And how will we get her attention? I mean, you're a traveling merchant, and I'm just attending staff.
Lana, that's it, I say. I like that. You've nailed it. That's perfect, Lana. Great idea. I will bring her a cask of better berry wine, and that will win us an audience to speak with her.
If that's not enough, my name bears some nobility in the Red Tithe, but also the name's known elsewhere. I could get us an audience to get us closer to work our way up to the queen.
That would be an option as well.
Well, she said that she wants this dealt with and that nobody wants to deal with it, right?
That's what the guy said, yeah.
So with your nobility and my wine and our message of, I think we should deal with this. I've gotten a bit ahead of myself. But I think we should go there. I think everyone should stay here and that we should go there.
Don't know
Because-
if just the two of us is the best idea.
No, not the two of us. I mean the nine. How many of us were there? 1, 2, 3, 4. The six
Yeah,
of us.
6.
Six of us should go there.
Okay.
We're all afflicted. This is a problem that needs to be dealt with, and this is exactly the kind of stuff that's in Malnak's books. This is the kind of stuff that bards from the Collar of Valor gather in the mead halls to sing about. Lana's with me.
This sounds like there's some very good information that could be hidden in this place and connected to the story, and it's something that I do not believe the Academy has, so lines up with my goals.
That's on board.
I step up and I just say, I just want a good night's rest. So I'm on board.
That's a perfect reason.
I suppose I should go.
Right? Cursed sword, cursed dreams. And and I turn to look at Cinderlord Fell.
Well, it is only logical that staying in group increases the chances of survival. So.
Very Malnak. Very Malnak. So it's decided. This is what we're doing.
And with that, we'll end session 1.
Hey, let's go.
Let's go.
Dang!
Next session, you guys